So today we're doing our video on a 1941 Chevy Special Deluxe two-door sedan. We'll be going around the vehicle doing a quick inspection on the condition of the vehicle, and then Tyler and I will do a cold start, show you the lights working, and then also a test drive. So a little bit of a long video, but it's going to show you a lot about this car and hopefully answer a lot of your questions. This beautiful 1941 Chevy comes to us. It has had some restoration done to it. Very stock, original car, other than you'll see it does have full, true dual exhaust. We'll get to the mechanics just here in a little bit. We're going to walk around and show you the exterior of the car first. It's been repainted this beautiful metallic burgundy color. And the paint is very good driver quality. It's an older paint, so it does show a few little flaws from aging, a little crack here, this little touch up here. For the most part, the paint's in very good condition. The chrome and stainless is in very good condition. A lot of the chrome still shines very nicely. There's some minor pitting in a couple of the pieces. The stainless is pretty straight, which is pretty important, and everybody knows that if you're going to restore a car, finding straight stainless is important. It's got the period correct sun visor, which is really cool and adds to the look of this car considerably. But the Special Deluxe, the paint does have a few little imperfections underneath the clear coat. Maybe a little hard to see, but they're kind of peppered throughout the car. Not a lot of them, but there are a few. It has a stock steel wheels with the stock Chevrolet hubcaps and those great Firestone wide white wall tires. So come around the front. There's no real large glaring defects on this car. There is some aging in some of the chrome, though. Like I said, there's some light pitting, a couple small areas right here, but for the most part, the chrome is in good condition. Very straight. Front bumper is straight. The grille is straight. Hood ornament. The side stainless is in very good condition. There are some flaws. Looks like this area here, there's some paint flaws, a couple little chips that have been touched up. And the car, when it was repainted, does appear that it was taken down and disassembled, except for there is a little bit of overspray on the rubber on the vent windows. Probably one of the most difficult parts of this car to take apart, but going over it. The passenger side of the car, very straight, no dents, no signs of any rust. Everything is intact. All the trim. The trunk on the car, very presentable, very nicely finished with the carpet, spare tire jack. Even has a fire extinguisher. Dual exhaust with the nice little chrome tips. Driver's side of the car is very straight, as you can see. No dents, no signs of any rust. Another spot where there's been some chipping and some touch-up done there. But overall, nice driver quality car. The interior has definitely had some restoration done to it. Stock dash, it's got kind of a faux wood paint done on top of the dash, on top of the door panels. The door panels have been recovered, the seats have been recovered, and the carpet has been replaced at some point. And the interior is in very good condition. The seats are in very good condition. No tears. And they sit like the frame is still, and the springs are very factory. All the gauges on the car work. Both switches for the blowers work. It does have aftermarket turn signals, which do work, and an aftermarket stereo, and that does work as well. So we'll switch over to the engine compartment. You'll find under the hood is a very stock inline 6-cylinder. A couple nice upgrades. Got a chrome valve cover, aluminum radiator for better cooling. It does have an Edmunds intake manifold, dual single barrel Rochester carburetors, manual choke. This car fires right up. Ice cold, warm, it doesn't matter. It fires right up. Purrs like a kitten, as you'll find out. True dual exhaust. I mean, from the exhaust manifold all the way back is true dual exhaust. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave that hood open. I'm gonna go ahead and start the car. You'll see a cold start, and then we'll also show you the lights working, the headlights, turn signals, brake lights. We'll do that next. We're going to go ahead and hop inside the car, go for a quick test drive, and show you how this car goes down the road. So now Tyler's in front of the camera instead of behind the camera. So, of course, we've already started the vehicle earlier in the video. It does have a pull choke, manual choke like we talked about here on the dash. Both blower motors.
And right away, the interior is very roomy. Dad and I are both about 6 feet tall, both fairly broad gentlemen. But yeah, there's about 8 inches between us. As far as our thighs go, we're kind of spread out a little bit. Plenty of leg room. Seats feel like they have plenty of padding, plenty of cushion.
And you got plenty of room in the back seat.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if you wanted to throw a couple of adults in the back, not just kids, but adults as well. I'm going to roll up this window to take it off. The car, you know, the clutch feels very good. Just as it should. The car accelerates very well for a big car and that straight 6-cylinder. You know, it pulls itself down the road just very well.
Yeah, the inline 6 is very tight. We both had the pleasure of driving this car a few miles.
brakes, you definitely, this heavy of a car, definitely want to give it a little bit extra time to stop, but it stops well, just like it should for this vintage of vehicle.
We weren't able to show it, of course, in the video, but starting the car is on a foot pedal next to the gas pedal, if you're not familiar with these 41 Chevys.
Yep, so it's a push button on the floor, which is kind of neat.
It is.
But
and the radio does work, like Dad said. And it's nice AM, FM, so if you're by yourself and you want some music. Pretty good for a straight six. Always liked these vintage Chevrolet straight sixes with dual exhaust and split headers. There's always kind of a neat raspy tone to them.
Yeah, and the car is solid enough and tight enough. I wouldn't be nervous about driving this just about anywhere. I mean, you know, it would do highway speeds without too much trouble, at least 55 to 60. The car was built to drive, so you know, and looking at the bottom side of the car, mechanics of the car, it definitely has been maintained. It's not a rotisserie restored trailer clean by any means, but it's a very nice example of a 41 two-door sedan.
Absolutely. And you'll see in the pictures too on the website that the bottom side of this car is very clean. A lot of original metal on the bottom of this car. Actually, I don't remember seeing any patch panels today.
No, I don't either. It really appeared to me like it could have been a Western vehicle. The odometer is only showing a little over 9,000 miles, and I remember making the comment that when we were looking at the bottom side of the car when it's on the lift, that you could convince me that this car was a repainted 9,000 mile car. The bottom side of the car was that rust-free and original. So make sure you take a look at those pictures. We're getting right up to that area where we can get up to some a little bit faster speeds.
Take some slight turns.
Yeah, we're going through an S-curve at about 50 miles per hour. Little Firestones are holding the curves well. Get up here about another mile. Be able to get a little bit faster speed for you so you can see what the car's like driving, but comfortable. I mean, the car, yeah.
Be perfect for those Sunday cruises. Go on to your favorite cruise in. I mean, it's going to be fun driving there. It's going to show well at the cruise in. Something you can be very proud of.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a good, nice little example of 41.
Absolutely.
Just about up that. 60 miles per hour. The car still feels very solid on the road. 65. It's just cruising along. That's about as fast as you're going to want to drive this car in length. Probably about 60, 65. But it's solid on the road.
Yeah.
The steering feels good. It feels like it should.